Hello everyone, welcome to this segment that we like to call Conversations with Recovering Individuals. Addiction is a serious mental disorder that affects a lot of people across the world and our country. And recovery from addiction is seen to be a very difficult experience. Through these conversations, we want to show the world that recovery from addiction is possible and can also be a transformative experience. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
So let us begin this conversation with an introduction of yourself, a little bit about yourself. Yeah.
When I used to be in college, I used to be not so involved in anything. Like I got a lot of gap in home. Like I used to be in home for longer time. Like after nearly to 6 to 7 months spent in home, like I was completely depressed. Like I used to not do any activity. And after 6 months I went out, like suddenly my mind got into like I have to chill out too much, I have to spend too much of money, buy things on myself. That made me too hyperactive. I was completely restless, and suddenly I used to get angry on my family if I did not get anything. And I felt like I had a complete behavior changes in myself. Like then when I showed to a doctor, like when my brother-in-law got to a doctor, they told me it's diagnosed as a bipolar. And I never thought I never knew what is bipolar, by the way. Then they told me bipolar is a thing where we go into a depression and angriness suddenly. And coming here, I felt in the beginning days, I felt like there is too much of thoughts going on in my mind. After a month, I felt bettering in myself after taking the tablets, and even counselor were very good to me, and even psychiatrist were used to communicate me in the well way, like used to tell what is your problem and all, and even doctor used to make reduce the dosage according to my behavior, and I feel like I'm completely fine now, and I don't get much thoughts. What I have to tell mainly is about my problem is how long we take rest or how long we get angry for longer time, it is affecting us. Like mainly I was addicted to lot of cigarettes, and like I tried weed for a while, not for a longer time, and I was not only addicted to a cigarette, and with social drinking I used to have a beer and all, and that was my but the main thing was after my depression I got angry, that was the main thing affected me.
Okay.
And coming here I feel a lot better.
So if you had to pinpoint looking back,
okay,
when was the first time you started, let's say, smoking weed or consuming alcohol? When would be the first time you'd say?
Like when I was smoking was when I was in Pew, and when I tried weed was like mainly 3 months back. That too, it was around 3 to 4 times, that's all. But alcohol was, I was not when I used to get up with the friends, I used to have 4 to 5 times, that's all.
And at any point over time, did you see it affecting your life, smoking or drinking?
I never felt it was affecting my life. Why? Because I was not in the sense where I used to think that it is harming me. Then later when at the ending time I started to change my behavior, I showed my anger too much in my family. I felt like I was not sleepless for a while. I used to take a lot of, I used to roam continuously. I used to not feel like to stay in home for a while, and that's all.
And how did your family feel about it?
They were completely sad. They used to not tell it out, but they used to, what happened, like before you were very, very good, like what happened to you suddenly. But even I never knew that I've affected myself or I have changed in my behavior. I was completely out of sense. Like just making myself happy was the intention, but it affected a lot.
And how did you first hear about Cadabums? Like how did you hear about it?
Actually my brother-in-law got me here to Cadabums. First he showed me to a JP Nagar. I was there for 15 days, again got discharged. After 4 days coming back to Bangalore, 5th day due to cigarettes, I stole the money. At that time he got me and he put me to the JP Nagar. Then I came here for almost nearly to 65 days. Now Monday I'm getting discharged. I'm not saying that I had a bad experience here. Like every day by day, I was seeing my improvements, changes. And at the end of these days, I'm feeling I've recovered completely and I can go out and be as a good person and good human with my family. And that's all my intentions are.
And so there are multiple therapies here every day, individual sessions with counselors or psychiatrists, psychologists. So how do you think that has helped you?
Like getting information about nicotine or weed or cannabis, everything helped me a lot. Like why? Because I never knew what it is and how it is going to harm my body. Like that was very useful, and even the food is very good. Like I don't have any issues with the food also, and the caretakers also are very good, and we get every monthly 3 times snacks also. That is very nice, and like we have to just find a good company and have a good time out here and take tablets regularly, and that will be fine.
And throughout this stay, has your family been supportive? Have they contacted you?
They have sure they have given their 100%. Like they are intent. Like when I came here itself, I got to know, like due to me, how much they got affected, and due to them, like speaking to them every time, I feel like I have to change. I have to be. I have to follow what doctor has said to me. Like everything is good, and doctor also suggests us very well, like how we are healing and how your progresses are.
And if you had to send a message out to other people who are going through the same thing and who don't know whether to seek help or whether to not seek help, what would you like to tell them?
I would like to tell them, like when I'm telling, when it's in the beginning stage itself, it's better to get admitted or get a suggestion from a doctor. I feel like don't take it to a large stage where you get you are in even a doctor is helpless situation. I would tell them I would recommend them Kadabams. Like all the doctors are very good, and they'll give you a remedy, like medicines, or they suggest be like this so that you might heal very soon and you can be healthier forever.
Thank you so much for talking with us, and all the best for your future as well.
Thank you.